All right, welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. My name is Tom.
Hi, Tom.
I'm a fantasy sports addict.
And my name is Ryan.
Howdy, Ryan.
And I, too, am a fantasy sports addict.
That was some lovely
kazoo work.
Yeah,
am I getting better?
It's getting better. I mean, it gets better all the time.
All right, that's what I'm hoping for.
Proud of you, buddy. Good work on that. So, yeah, welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. My name's Tom, fantasy sports addict.
So this is podcast 28.
Did you say who you were? I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. We all know who you are. Whatever. Podcast 28. And we're going to sum up, give you the wrap-up of yesterday's day one opening day of Yahoo Fantasy Baseball. We did 2 drafts. This is the wrap-up show for that. We did a head-to-head snake draft with several members of the FSAA community. That was
we represented.
Oh yeah, we fucked that league up. And then of course afterwards, hour 3, because it's live stream, we call it hour 3. Actually, technically it was hour 3 in a lot of ways. So we did auction
Roto.
It was
so a little bit of everything, a day one head-to-head standard.
Right.
And a day one Roto auction.
And, our Yahoo profiles are already full.
I got one team left.
Yeah. No, mine's not entirely full. That was kind of a joke. But, yeah, you are almost full.
Side account, here we come.
Well, that seems to be how it goes.
So we were talking a little bit going into the draft about –
Well, hang on. I want to stop, and we don't have any Q&A this week, I don't think, just yet. Actually, we did have one question. Somebody asked us last night on Twitter. We didn't actually get to it because we were in the middle of our own shenanigans. Somebody asked us, what was it? They would have –
what second baseman?
Yeah, and it was – I forget who it was.
Dozier. Odor.
Odor.
And Kinsler, I believe.
Yeah, Kinsler, Brian Dozier, and Rougned Odor in Texas. And I think we both agreed that Odor.
Honestly, though, I'd take Rendon in that range anyways. Like, there's other second basemen I'd rather have than either one of them. I mean,
maybe go a little earlier with
Dozier if he falls. I like him, but I think I like Rendon.
Okay. All right. Well, that or just wait and get your second baseman off the scrap heap or go for like a Scope. You did a couple of Jonathan Scopes last night, didn't you?
Scope, and then Travis is away late
Devon
guy.
Travis, yeah. All right, so that's one question we had to answer. But before we go into the drafts, I want to stop and say we got kind of fucked out the window last night with another copyright claim, and it's my fault. But it's so this YouTube content ID thing is starting to piss me off. I mean, what we're doing, technically we're a news show, and everything in our broadcast training would indicate our use of music would be fair use. But because of the content ID system, we're having a little fun dancing around to Will Smith's Summertime last night. Like, come on, because I drafted Will Smith as one of my late closers, and we're all laughing about it. And another flag. So now the ad revenue, just don't watch the video. Don't watch the first draft.
There'll be other drafts. Sorry.
We'll do it, we're going to take it down. But
basically, Tom, you got to stop playing shitty music that gets copyrighted.
God damn it, that people like it. It's fun. It makes the draft more exciting.
I know.
But yeah, if you go back and listen to it, it's just like super garbled, barely in the background. Like, is that Will Smith I hear? Sort of. And how does that get you flagged for a copyright violation? That's fucking dog shit. And honestly, fuck Will Smith and fuck his record label for trying to fuck with us.
All right. Anyways, moving on.
No, it's my rant. What are they trying to get? 4 cents?
Moving on. Who cares?
4 cents? Is that all that video is going to be worth somehow? And that's what they want out of it? 4 cents. It's a 30-year-old fucking song.
Tom, move on. Let it go.
All right, I'm letting it go. That's Probably not the last I'll say about Content ID, I'm sure.
Okay, it's enough.
It's a good thing we're not giving up that much money.
No.
Whatever. All right, so let's talk about
playing shitty songs.
No, come on. We can't play crust punk in every show, okay? I mean, it's not
going to get us flagged.
I know it's not going to get us flagged, but it's not going to help us, like, engage the audience. Not everybody wants to listen to some, like, screamo shit, Ryan.
Not screamo.
Well, whatever.
Screaming,
yelling, whatever. Okay.
We have enough of that anyways.
Yeah, we're busy screaming and yelling. So we did 2 drafts last night.
Yes.
First draft we had 3 other FSAA people with us. 5
or 6 total.
Yeah, we still haven't decided if it was 6 FSAA members or 5. There was one. We were a man down, possibly. I don't know what happened. Ryan swears at 6. I only counted 5. But we had kind of asked each other some questions going in. What do we want going into this draft?
Like, what draft spot? Because we've done a couple mocks and, like, kind of have an idea, looked at the rankings and kind of have an idea. So we were, asking each other, like, what draft spot do we want?
Well, the draft spot I wanted was somewhere in between 1st and 3rd pick, right?
Okay, so you wanted one of the big 3.
Right, Goldie, Trout, or Harper.
Right.
Okay.
And I wanted, like, 10, 11, and 12 so I could do a pairing of, like, maybe – Correa and Machado or Bryant or Arenado, any 2 of those 4, like, absolutely.
Okay. What did we end up getting?
You had 4th.
I had 4th pick.
And I had 9th. So just right outside of the windows that we wanted.
And it made it for a real perfectly big pain in the ass to try to chat on YouTube. I mean, and answer questions.
Right, because we're like
constantly working and like, what's my next? I mean, we were just because we were right on either end there, not quite on the end, but it was just always constantly one of our turns. So it's so hard to get back to the chat, and it kind of made for bad.
And day one, we're not as prepared as we will be on last day.
Well, speak for yourself. I felt pretty prepared. I mean,
I'm just saying.
How many mock drafts do you need to do? I was confident with my team. I liked how my team turned out. All right, so
you got lucky.
Yeah, I did get lucky with that 4th pick. All right, something real crazy happened in that draft, and this will not be how it happens in your standard 12-team league. Number 1 overall was Kershaw, and number 2 overall was Goldschmidt.
Yeah,
I believe Bronson selected Goldschmidt.
And then 3rd pick, wasn't that even nuts where it was like Max
Scherzer. So I had my choice of Mike Trout or Bryce Harper at 4th pick.
I mean, that could be a problem with the day 1 drafts.
Could be.
Sometimes you get some yahoos in there that
some slapstick motherfuckers playing games and
just don't know what they're doing, played a homer or some shit.
Or set their pre-ranks totally wrong, goofed up. I don't know. I mean, whatever. But I ended up with Mike Trout as my first pick, and it totally like when I was picking 4th, I was looking Kershaw. Now I'm doing my pitching strategy all of a sudden. It was too soon for me to contemplate doing the pitching strategy, and all of a sudden I'm thrust into the position of pitching strategy. But then all of a sudden I got Trout, so it changed up my game plan again. And
yeah, I mean, you never think you would get a Mike Trout on 4th, and I guarantee you, like 99 out of 100, that doesn't happen.
No, that was literally like lightning striking.
Again, honestly, any draft you do, it should be a variation of Goldie, Trout, and Harper.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
You can argue or take whoever at each pick.
If you're a fanboy especially, yeah.
Oh, I want a first baseman, not an outfielder. Personally, I like Harper. You like Trout.
Right, but I have seen in every draft and mock draft I've seen, honestly, it's been Goldschmidt number 1 overall. And I'm not going to count that one last night where,
Kershaw went number 1.
Right, like that's just sort of like somebody taking a stab. Like I'm sure nobody's selecting Kershaw number 1 overall, really. That's probably a pre-ranking or I don't know, maybe
I don't know.
And I noticed, he didn't commit to that might, if you're going number 1 overall, you're going to do the pitching strategy.
But he didn't commit to the pitching strategy.
No, I ended up committing to that. So
right.
But
so I had 9th pick, and Josh Donaldson was still there for me.
Well, and that's You were asking, who do I take? Who do I take? I was like, Donaldson. Hello, RBIs, runs, everything.
Well, again, I just he wasn't one of the guys I was thinking I'd get or go for.
Everything changed with the, everything changed. I was kind of surprised that you didn't have a shot at, I guess Correa went a little early, but Justin took him, so he didn't go.
Yeah, I knew if Correa was there, I probably I still had Donaldson ranked higher than Correa personally.
Okay,
I still may have gone Correa just because. Stanton I like.
Right.
But so I ended up doing a Donaldson, Manny Machado 1-2, which I'm thrilled about.
It's a fun 1-2 combo. Now, let's ask real quick. We had Justin, Kevin, and Bronson in this draft. J Money Smooth, Ace, and Bronson. I guess we should ask them. This is kind of a common consensus amongst people who play fantasy leagues and daily, or not daily, but day one, fantasy leagues. Are these early drafts? Are they shitty? Are they are just pure shit?
We kind of with Scherzer going second. That kind of
threw things out the window. But nobody has a bad team though. Anybody who made those early pitching moves, they didn't necessarily have bad teams. And I don't think it's the kind of thing that's going to ruin a league necessarily. It's not totally league damaging. I don't think an early draft is shitty in any way. I thought that was especially because we had 5. We know who's going to the playoffs. We know it's going to be us. Anybody from FSAA likely to be a playoff team. I love them. A lot of those. Everybody had a solid team and everybody had a strong showing.
Another thing about this early draft and if they're good or bad, there was actually a trade. The dude who picked Kershaw first is already trading them.
Which I'm not a fan of the trade.
What is the trade? Let's take a look.
I believe it's James Shields and
Carlos Gomez for Clayton Kershaw.
Now I've got Carlos Gomez as a bust on my list. I don't know about you. I'm not a Carlos Gomez fan.
No.
Carlos Gonzalez on the other. Now that would have been
I still wouldn't have liked it.
No, I wouldn't have either. But I still
that's the thing with having at least 5 deep. I think we're 5 deep actually. I'll agree with you.
We've got a trade block. We
got enough power to veto any trade.
We've got a quorum. We've got a majority. All right. So are you advocating that we?
Well, I was just talking with Kevin, who's here on our live stream.
I think if you and Kevin both go hit veto on that right now, I think the trade's canceled.
And then Justin's still hanging around.
So everybody just go to public league. 14,652. Go look at the trade that's pending, and if you don't like it, you can hit veto. We have a majority, a block here.
I think it's already vetoed.
Oh, it's already gone. Well, all right.
There we go. I didn't even have to hit veto.
Well, there we go. Obviously we're not the only ones that don't like that trade. And normally we wouldn't advocate, in our dynasty leagues, that trade would be processed just because, we don't.
That trade wouldn't have been made or accepted in our dynasty
But
leagues.
if it had, we would have been like, all right.
No, we would have fucking.
Still asked?
We would have fucking
vetoed
the trade.
You own Kershaw, so it certainly would not.
We would have vetoed the trade and removed the manager.
I would have thought your team got hacked. Since you have double Kershaw, I would have just assumed either somebody has really bad dirt on you, pictures of you doing something really illegal.
Possibly.
Hey, maybe I should get some of these pictures of you doing something really illegal so I can blackmail you for Kershaw. That's the only thing I would honestly Ryan, did your team get hacked?
Right.
All right, so it was vetoed. Now let's just since we're looking here, his team is not. This is the Kershaw team. His team needs a little bit of pitching. It's mostly closers and crap. And even the closers are crap.
Yeah, he's got a few players, but nothing too great. So that trade got vetoed. Again, fist of power.
That's not. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. I mean,
again, that's the problem with day one drafts or just public leagues in general. Like, you never know what you're going to get.
Well, all right, so here's the question. I mean, who's swooping in now to send a Kershaw offer? Since we know Kershaw is available, like, I do have my pitching strategy team. Maybe I'll just offer him Trout. Just punt my offense entirely.
You don't want to do that.
No?
No.
I mean, like, all right. Well,
I mean, yeah, offer it.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, dude, I will. All right, let's real quick before we get into our teams, because we're not going to go through everybody's team. That would take too long. Let's talk about. Was there a strategy you really wanted to do last night? Was there anything you actually wanted to do that you weren't able to do, or like, is your team entirely different from what you expected?
Well, going in with the day one, first of all, like the rankings are still not updated and
things are a little helter-skelter.
Still getting used to that. Also, this was a mix between private and public because we had our 5 FSAA members. So we know there's at least 5 addicts, really good managers that are going to draft well, be active and competitive.
Well, and be all over our own players.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. So I knew there were players that I would have liked that normally I could get, but I'm not going to, like Correa is an example.
Okay.
Like I knew Correa wasn't going to go past Justin with the 7th pick. But at the same time, it's half public where we don't know the other managers. There was only one team that didn't show up.
Right.
So my strategy for this draft was basically just that whole take the best available player and build my team accordingly.
Okay.
Like no particular strategy, especially for this draft.
Okay. Do you want to, since you didn't have a strategy going in, do you want to just read the team you ended up with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get there.
Are you going to go round by round? Yeah, let's do it round by round so we can do it. Like instead of just looking at our rosters, we'll go round by round.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll actually be more useful or not. Again,
9th pick, so snake draft. You can kind of go accordingly. So 9th pick, I took Josh Donaldson first, which again, surprised he was there. So Donaldson, Manny Machado at 16th. Then I went with Charlie Blackmon, which was kind of a surprise.
Right.
He's not normally a guy I like or go for.
No, I was surprised by that pick.
But again, Springer and Schwarber both went 31st and 32nd.
Okay.
So it was kind of a panic, but I'll take it. Colorado, stolen bases. So 4th and 5th maybe reaches, but I got the players I wanted.
You paid for what you were after.
I took Sano at 40th and Corey Seager at 57th.
Okay.
Which, again, I'm happy. I mean, I got a lot of third base and a lot of shortstop, but I kept other teams from having strong third base and shortstops.
Okay.
At that point, I needed a pitcher, so I took Sonny Gray. You know, Sonny Gray did well for me last year. I like him a lot. 81st, I kind of reached a little bit, but I took Billy Hamilton.
Okay.
You know, true one category specialist, getting stolen bases. And, I mean, with Hamilton and Blackmon, like, I should win stolen bases every week.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so feeling light on pitching now. So I went with Michael Wacha and Danny Salazar, 1-2. Wacha, I don't know about that pick personally. I like him a lot, like the team he plays for.
Right.
But, I mean, he'll just be a solid innings eater, give me decent enough stats. I kept the pitching going after that with Tanaka and Giles.
I don't like your Tanaka pick, by the way. Just saying. I mean, it's so.
It's risky.
I mean, again, like I'm talking about that as a guy with Chris Sale, looks like he's just going to explode when he throws the ball.
I mean, again, Tanaka, 10th round, 112th pick.
Not tremendous risk. I just don't. It's just not even a risk I would even take.
Okay.
I mean, it's like literally impending disaster.
Okay.
Like looming.
Okay. Fair enough. Then I took my first closer with Ken Giles.
Okay.
Jock Peterson. I don't like the average, but the power's there, and I'm hoping that he progresses and gets better.
Well, you went fishing for power your next 3 picks here. So Peterson,
Byung-Ho Park.
Yeah.
I needed a first baseman. I didn't have a first baseman at that point. First baseman is kind of a position that I think after the top tier drops down quite a bit.
Right.
And so, yeah, I reached for Park, but I needed a first baseman, and I wanted him. And same thing with Jonathan Scope. I wanted power second baseman.
I did too. Sniped me there. You raped me.
Yeah. I like this next pick a lot. Steven Matz with pick 177.
Yeah. I do too.
Yeah. And I needed a catcher, so I went with Stephen Vaught. Vaught. He had surgery, but he should be fine. And again, just trying to get power.
And he's motivational speaking, I heard again.
Okay. Vizcaino, another closer, 201st pick. Ender Inciarte, more stolen base, outfield depth.
I wonder how he does away from Arizona. I mean, he's in Atlanta. Atlanta's kind of a empty hitting situation, kind of
everyday playing time.
No, I get that, and I just
at 208, he's going to outperform his draft value.
Okay, all right. All right.
Okay, then I went with the closer, Brad Ziegler. Ben Paulson, I just needed a backup first baseman. If I find another one I like better, I'll make the move. But again, Colorado.
All right.
I had him for a minute.
Okay.
And, Quackenbush, Travis, and Hoover were my last picks. Couple possible closers and a second baseman, DL stash. Toronto's offense.
Yeah, I've been rolling the dice on the closer options possibly, and I mean Travis is a nice stash.
I mean, it's kind of a well-rounded, power-heavy team.
Yeah. Got more power in my team, that's for sure, except in the arms department.
Right, because you went with your crazy-ass pitching.
Well, all right, so, when we asked, is there a strategy you wanted, I didn't necessarily want a pitching strategy. I have embraced pitching quite a bit more than what I have in the past. Like, normally I wouldn't pay for pitching.
See, Joe likes Tanaka.
Okay, all right. So I'm not going to argue. I mean, again, if he pans out, it's
a risk reward.
I get it. It's not a risk I'm taking personally. I mean, it's a looming Tommy John, and I'm only biased from years and years and years of Tommy John surgeries derailing my pitching staff in our dynasty leagues. So again, it's that sort of refuse to be burned by what's burned you in the past, and that's elbow issues. But that having been said, speaking of elbow issues, I went with some pitching. And
you did, and a lot of pitching.
A lot of elbow issue pitching too. At least 3 potential candidates right here, and 4 that I'm seeing. I was kind of hoping to go pitching heavy and get some of these guys anyways. But again, my hope was to get one of the top 3 players. I ended up doing that. Ultimately, I would have preferred Goldschmidt. I was hoping for Goldschmidt, and then I was going to build pitching around that. Trout's just as good of an anchor, though.
Trout's a great anchor.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I still think as a Trout owner and a non-Goldie dynasty owner and a D-backs fan, it's not even the D-backs fan. I love Trout. I love Goldie. I think if I'm picking in a fresh draft, I'm going Goldie over Trout myself. I've seen it a lot. I'll buy it. Like, you can get more outfield, especially
dynasty or just year to year.
Definitely year to year. Dynasty, that's a tough call.
So if you have Goldie, you might be able to get Mike Trout off of Tommy.
In a year to year league.
In a dynasty league.
No.
Okay, so no.
No.
Okay,
no.
never mind.
Not in the dynasty. Not in our clone team's dynasty scenario. Hey, come on. But yeah, so fourth pick, we described how I ended up with fourth pick and Trout at fourth pick. Kershaw and Scherzer went first and third. So Goldschmidt went second. And then I'm looking at Harper and Trout, and I'm debating Harper because I have no shares of Harper. I never have. You like Harper. I was kind of like,
oh, yeah.
I go Harper? Like, I really like Bryce Harper's power. He's actually kind of more of my kind of guy than Trout is ultimately. But, like, I was, again, when you and I are going head-to-head for, like, which prospect we wanted to start off our dynasty leagues however many years ago, it was you got your Harper, I got my Trout.
Yeah.
So Trout number 1 or number 4 overall for me. And then I committed at that point to an all pitching strategy. We just sort of decided this is what it is. I'll do a video about it later today. But I went heavy for pitching. I went Chris Sale at 21, Jose Fernandez at 28, 45th pick, Matt Harvey, 52nd pick, Chris Archer. So right there, that's like 200 plus strikeouts at least from all 4 of those guys. I mean, right now I'm like smoking the pitching in this league. This is what, 5 rounds in? So, yeah, I'm doing the pitching strategy. At this point, in 6th round, at 69th overall, I got to commit to, if I'm committing to the pitching strategy,
you need closers.
I'm paying for closers, right? So
you have to.
So I doubled down my 6th and 7th pick with Aroldis Chapman and Kenley Jansen. Yankees closer, Dodgers closer, can't go wrong. Great strikeout numbers, great ERA, whip, everything. I mean, so I'm loving that. Okay, and now at 8th pick, 93rd overall, I got to circle back around and start building some offense. So I reached a little bit to make sure I got position of scarcity. I went with Francisco Lindor because I liked him better than any of the other shortstops.
No, I mean, that's a good pick. I like Lindor at 93. In the mocks that we've been seeing, Lindor.
I've seen him go even higher.
Yeah.
So I also reached again at 9th pick, 100th overall. I reached for my Jorge Soler, one of my favorite prospects from years ago, and just still one of my favorite breakout candidates. Like, I mean, I love Jorge Soler. I wouldn't call him a sleeper necessarily, but I mean, he's kind of ranked as a sleeper somewhat, but I don't think he's a sleeper. Not if there's a Cubs fan in your league. Or me.
I'm not nearly as high on Soler as you are. Like,
no, I think he's a definite breakout candidate myself.
I mean, fair enough. I won't argue with it.
All right, so 10th pick. I got to keep the strong pitching tradition alive. I'm going to do a little bit of a wait and see, a little like wait till he's healthy for some more strikeouts. Yu Darvish. I mean, perfect stash candidate. This was all right. So this is a head-to-head league. It's not Roto, but I mean, again, Yu Darvish, nice little stash candidate. I mean, especially what you can expect coming. It's a risk, but
Tanaka and Darvish are both their own kind of risks.
Right. Yeah. All right. So I guess you took Tanaka 10th. I took Darvish 10th.
Okay.
I think I like Darvish more than I like Tanaka.
I like Tanaka.
That's ironic. That's actually ironic. So all right, 2 damaged goods Japanese pitchers, both in the 10th round. I was chastising Ryan for having done it, and here I am doing it myself. Yeah. Okay, so. All right, well, you got my Billy Hamilton, which pissed me off because I was hoping to, like, build pitching around stolen bases, and you kind of reached a little bit for Hamilton.
Again,
not too much.
I wanted to lock down the stolen bases with taking the Charlie Blackmon early, which normally I don't.
Well, I mean, whatever. This is where I went with one of your guys. I went at 124th pick, 11th round, Billy Burns. Should be getting plenty of stolen bases and opportunity. I'm pretty excited about that because I needed some stolen bases at that point. And I didn't actually get as many stolen bases players as I was hoping for. Next 2 picks, 12th and 13th, 141st, 148th overall. I went upside in stability. I went upside of Michael Franco with my 12th pick and stability of Kendrys Morales, 13th pick. Pretty happy with that.
You can have them.
No, I mean, you can sort of just get by with Kendrys. It's nothing sexy, but Then you couple that with the upside of Franco. I'm happy. You project his numbers out of over a full season. I'm pretty thrilled about Franco.
Yeah, Franco, absolutely.
Well, I had to get another closer next. 14th pick, 165th overall. Went Roberto Osuna. I'm still assuming that he's going to keep his closer's job.
He's at least going to get you
some saves.
And then
Storen's not gonna. I mean, I'm sorry. Like,
I personally, I like Osuna better than Storen.
And he was so good last year. The K's. I mean, even if he's just like bullpen help with the K's and stuff, I mean, he offers a very high strikeout upside. I had to get a catcher finally, so I went with Blake Swihart. He's totally he's our sleeper catcher. He's my catcher, like pretty much in every draft I'm going to do this year, I'm guessing. He's my dynasty catcher too. Stuck with the dynasty theme. I reached a little bit, not necessarily reached, but Byron Buxton. I'm surprised nobody took him sooner than this, especially among our FSAA crew. But Buxton, 189th overall. Another prospect.
Not a bad pick. I mean,
well, then more upside, more boom or bust potential here. Joey Gallo, 196th overall. I love Joey Gallo with the power.
Right.
And then, just keeping it. I like him young. Going with Steven Piscotty with the first base and outfield eligibility.
So basically, your offense is built on a lot of
upside.
Ifs.
Well, prospect, but again,
upside ifs.
I've got the pitching, so all I have to do is I've got 5 categories on lockdown. All I need to do is be active. I mean, if I'm active and start riding waves and finding stats where I need them, I mean, again, this team is like your basketball punting strategy. Okay, it's built for head-to-head. It's winning 5-4 every week.
Okay.
I mean,
well, you just got to get your offensive category that you're going to try to slam.
It'll dictate itself to me as some of these players, these young players, and these prospects develop. I think LeMahieu's a pretty good, not necessarily sleeper second baseman, but LeMahieu's good late value for second base. If you miss out on your Jonathan Scope, especially. And this is the point at which in the draft, I was like, well, let me get another closer. I'll get Milwaukee's closer because he's supposed to close in Milwaukee, same way your Cincinnati guy is supposed to close. And that's the point at which we played the goddamn Will Smith song.
Yeah.
And we got content ID flagged on YouTube. I mean, come on. Here's your 4 cents, jerko. And then at that point, it was just all more prospects, more risk reward. Yasmani Tomas, 21st round, 244th overall. Trey Turner, that was kind of a panic pick. I mean, I'll probably drop Turner. There's other players out there.
Turner can be good. I mean, you just gotta be patient with him. He's more of a watch add if he starts to get hot.
Yeah, I don't recommend drafting.
I mean,
Turner.
Dynasty, it's different.
Yeah, go get Turner if he's in your Dynasty pool. But Trey Turner, not a good head-to-head, start the year candidate. But this is day one, first draft. These players are at this point very flexible. You can drop them. These are the candidates for free agent pickups and waiver wire ads. Last pick of the draft for me, 268th overall, 23rd round, Andrew Haney. I'm surprised he's ranked that late. Why was
he was good. I mean, again, he's got the upside, his little cup of coffee,
he could be an ace in Los Angeles for the Angels. I mean,
maybe. Anaheim. I mean, he's a good last starter for goddamn sure.
Right, and again, I'm not even married to him at last pick. I could just there's other stuff out there on the free agent pool I'm looking at. So I'm pretty happy with that draft as far as a first head-to-head draft goes.
I mean, our other FSA members did well. Bronson's got a good team. He took goalie. He's got a lot of pitching with Kluber, Strasburg, Syndergaard. Pujols, he got at 95th pick, which could be the steal of the draft.
Man, he took Pujols too?
At 95th. I mean, Pujols at 95 is great.
Well, he's got a Brady
Brantley at 98. So, I mean, he's got a good team. Justin, he always puts forth a good lineup.
Yeah, Justin's.
I mean, Correa, Betts, Springer, DeGrom, Chris Davis, the Todd father, Carrasco. I know he's real big on him.
I like Carrasco.
Some later picks I'm not so sold on.
No. Well, I mean, David Hernandez isn't a bad late closer. I mean, Philly, however many saves they get.
I mean, Kevin had the Rizzo-Arenado combo. He had the 12th pick and, like,
started
Rizzo
out
and
hard.
Arenado, like,
boom. Yeah,
that's just serving notice.
You got some fucking corner infield.
Greinke was his 3rd pick. So then he just kind of filled out pitching.
All right. So according to the Yahoo standings.
The Yahoo standings, Tom?
In draft. Yeah, we always like to talk about these. Everybody wants to know who won the draft. And this is obviously pretty subjective and it's based on Yahoo silliness. But who won the draft? Who had the best team in this draft?
It was you, right?
It was me. Yeah, Tom's proud of his team. Now I'm talking to third person.
Corey Seager was projected to have no stats. Same thing with Byung-Ho Park. So I basically have no first baseman or shortstop.
Well, I hope it's not that bad for you.
It's not going to be.
I'm sure it's not. So that just goes to show you how fickle the projections can be on some of these, fantasy draft projections. Like, I mean, come on.
All right. Who do you think was the steal of the draft?
Steal of the draft? Byron Buxton. I'm pretty happy about Byron Buxton in the fucking 16th round.
You would choose your own player.
I mean, Haney's not bad either, last pick of the draft.
I'm still going with Pujols with 95th pick.
Yeah. I suppose I could have used some Pujols somewhere around 100, but that would have cost me Soler.
I like that way better. Not even close.
I don't, because, I mean, I'm good at first.
All right, reach of the draft. I mean, this one's easy. Just Max Scherzer with number 3 overall.
Yeah, that was a little.
I mean, that was fucking just asinine.
I mean, I still would have come away with like at least Harper or something like that. That's still
I don't like Posey at 20. Just going through. I mean, Schwarber at 32.
Gordon went a little early. D. Gordon went early. Schwarber at 32 is not bad. That's only 8 picks later than you got him in our auction league, I think.
It's about money in the auction, and I had money.
Well, yeah, but you paid like he was 8 picks previous.
I'm just saying.
The dogs are doing it again. Is that you or the dogs? Blowing it up here on the set.
All right, but I mean, anyways, that was a good day one draft. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was glad to have all of our FSA members in it.
I'm a little disappointed because we weren't able to get as many people in. Like, it was literally just us in the auction draft that we did immediately afterwards. So we won't spend as much time analyzing. I mean, we literally flew by the seat of our pants from the first draft to this draft.
Yeah, like
there was like 6 minutes remaining in between episodes.
Like we didn't even the draft was already started before we got our stream going for it.
Right, Trout was already on.
So I mean, if you actually want to go through and watch these
check for the videos,
live streams, yeah. They're there on our YouTube channel.
I mean, I don't know how to go through this because again, the rankings, you can't really. I guess we'll just sort of go through our teams real quick and just sort of describe. All right, first of all, for basketball, we came up with a really nice formula, and I actually am pretty proud of that. I feel like it's about spot on. Yeah. I mean, honestly, in terms of how you allocate your money per round or per player type of thing, we came up with this formula, and of course the money's different in basketball than it is in baseball.
Just 200, 260, less players.
Right. We'll have to figure out the exact formula for this. I feel like we were kind of close, but not quite perfect. I might have overspent a bit and then underspent in some areas.
It's a work in progress, yeah. Okay. But this was just step one to kind of figure that out. Like, we want to jump in, see what dollar values people are going for. I mean, that's the whole point of these, like, day one drafts. Like, usually are they your best leagues? Absolutely not. A lot of times they can be an easy gold. Well,
but they can also be very competitive. I've been in some day one drafts that are my favorite, like, league of the year.
Yeah. I mean you get a lot of addicts jumping to do a day one draft.
Like our basketball league 666, that was our day one draft. That's actually not a bad league.
It's a damn good league.
I mean, so I'm just saying, like, don't be afraid to do an early draft.
I mean, again, it's not your only team. Like, don't do a day one draft if that's your only team.
Right.
Like, this is going to be like, we're going to do like, what, 18 teams?
I guess.
16 teams.
There's talk of like an in-person draft now. I mean, hey, it's getting serious. Okay, I don't know how to go through this other than.
Well, you should start because you spent all the money early.
I went ape shit. I don't even know how to like.
I mean, we always advocate spending money.
Don't be afraid to spend money. Now, there is such a thing as overspending early. It can happen. It happened to me last night because I got caught with my hand in the cookie jar. I'm not unhappy with how it happened. I mean, I can work with this. There's certainly things to be done here, but it left the rest of my offense in kind of a shambles.
I mean, I'll tell you where you fucked up.
Where do you have this? Because this is just I think that's our other draft.
No, this is the auction.
Is it?
Yeah, that's how much you spend on it.
Where it didn't show me that. How'd you get that?
Draft results.
Okay, and
team.
I'm not getting team. Okay, there we go. Thank you.
All right.
I'm gonna disagree with how I fucked up just because I have a far better track record in terms of winning percentage on auction drafts than you do. They tend to be my best drafts, just saying.
Okay.
And even when I do overspend, I still have I love the core of this team. We called it the 3x3. It's like a secret menu item at In-N-Out. It's like
3x3.
The 3x3. It's 3 meat patties and 3 cheese slices, and it's delicious. You got to get it with grilled onions, and Ryan doesn't like that, but that's how you do it. It's delicious.
All right, so what's
I did my
3x3?
I spent like crazy here in the first 6 picks. I spent $51 on Paul Goldschmidt. I spent $46 on Carlos Correa, and I think that was my hand in the cookie jar.
I thought Macho Man was.
I don't remember. But, okay, so $51. This is a $260 budget. You got 23 players. $51 Paul Goldschmidt, $46 Carlos Correa, $45 on Manny Machado.
That was just you trying to fuck with me and keeping me from getting Macho Man.
Was that the one? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I just kept that,
Because, again, you had no business getting Goldie and Correa to be bidding on Macho Man.
Why not? I needed a third baseman, not a short. I thought I got caught on Correa, not Macho. Because I wanted
Maybe you did. Maybe you did both.
I only went for Machado after you. I remember you wanted Correa, so you were pissed about it. You were going to get Nolan Arenado for me instead.
And then we were going to trade Arenado for Correa.
And then you didn't get Arenado, so I had to go get Machado.
That was just my strategy. I wasn't spending early.
Whatever. I ended up, continuing the spending spree in the next round. I went with my 3 pitchers, Jose Fernandez, Garrett Cole, and Chris Archer. Again, if you're going hard on offense, you got to go hard with pitching. This is a Roto league. You got to have equal money spent, I think. And I was happy with that. Okay, so after that, you got to take a break. Your money's in the shitter.
But you didn't take that much of a break.
I paid for 2 guys I really wanted. The next 2 guys I paid for were Jorge Soler at $11. Again, I find Jorge Soler to have a very high ceiling. He showed us what he could do down the stretch last year. Very rough year. The guy seems to be kind of injury prone, I hate to say, but I still love the upside. And one of these days, he's going to give us a full glimpse of what he can do. But yeah, I'm a big Jorge Soler believer. So $11 is what I paid for that. And I just my other pitching league, I got to keep the trend up. Yu Darvish, perfect stash again for Roto.
I mean, it was $20 you could have used because at that point you were down to $1 players. I still think your fuck up was Jose Fernandez.
I disagree. Why?
The money value. I think that $35, you could have spent that on a couple of $15, $16 players.
Okay, I'm not the only person that was down to dollar players after the 8th pick. Okay. So I'm not too, and when you compare some of these $3 and $4, $5, $6 players, I'm not too disappointed with my dollar players. Every player from here on out cost me $1. Now, some of these guys I've already dropped.
See, I had a couple like $3 and $2 players after the 8th pick.
Right, but that's again having money left over.
No, I had one more. I had
one more money pick.
One more.
All right, get me to that in a minute. I'll just want to breeze through my dollar players. Each one of these players I feel like has contributed or can contribute meaningfully to this type of team. And again, this type of team, when you've got a core like what I've got, you build actively. Like you've got to be on the waiver wire. You've got to be active, competitive, aggressive. I decided I got to get a catcher, so I went with Lucroy. And at this point, when you're nominating dollar players, you're just trying to throw stuff out there that you're not necessarily going to get outbid on, and that nobody's going to really like. Well, I don't want to pay. So Lucroy, it's a guy you don't mind keeping or owning for $1. Michael Franco, I got for $1. Another big player of mine. Like I'm big Michael Franco. Paid for LeMahieu again. I got Atlanta's closer. Vizcaino. Piscotty, another guy I believe in. Jake McGee was another one of those nominate for $1 and hope nobody else bids on him, closing in Colorado. I knew Ryan was going to take him, so I got Archie Bradley for $1. Phillies closer David Hernandez for $1. Will Smith for $1. My catcher Swihart, backup catcher, because again it's Roto. If there's one position it's hard to fill out 162 games on, it's a catcher. So I got Swihart for $1. And then at this point it was just 5 prospects. Just 5, like, roll the dice and see. And I've already dropped, I think, 2 or 3 of these guys. Travis Shaw, Daniel Norris, Eduardo Rodriguez, Trevor Bauer, and Domingo Santana. There's other stuff out there on the wire that I'll probably pick up. And, again, this is the team where you've got your core. It's going to smoke everybody else's core. And as long as you're playing the pickup game and you're being aggressive, like, it's Roto. Like,
right, max games played and all that. So, again, we always advocate spending your money early.
Well, that's the other thing. At the end of a draft, player values go back to normal. So, I have 3 first-round players, or in our rankings, 3 first-round players. Macho Man's not quite first round, but
I don't have one.
Right. So what I could do is I could go out there and get a 2-for-1 trade for one of those guys, and I've already put them on the block, and I'm getting offers. Like I'm telling people I want a 2-for-1. It's either Manny Machado or Carlos Correa, and if I can get a 2-for-1 short my outfield, maybe get another pitcher, or
Well, you were trying to get me to give you Corey Seager and Miguel Sano for one of those 2.
All right, if you want a first-round player, that's the cost. A guy ranked in the 60s and a guy ranked in the 80s. It's not outrageous.
No, I mean, it's not. I just don't. I mean, again, you know how much I value Sano and Sager.
Right. Well, give me your team.
Okay. Here. So I kind of went with a different approach, and I got a bunch of $30 players.
Okay.
Instead of, first round. So my first player I got was JD Martinez for $30. And I actually think he's kind of an undervalued player. Detroit's offense is great. The numbers he put up last year. Jose Abreu, $35. I don't love it, but he was pretty much the last of the top tier first baseman, and I wanted to make sure I got one of those.
Right.
I wasn't able to get Goldie or Rizzo.
But you wanted a first baseman that's going to kick some ass.
Because I feel first base is one of those positions that drops quite a bit.
Not as bad as third base, but yeah, it drops.
So then third pick, I went with my boy George Springer for $38.
Your boy?
I love Springer. I know you don't.
He's your son. I didn't know he's your son.
I wish. All right, so fourth pick, I went with Kyle Schwarber for $33.
A bit, yeah. I mean, all right, so 34th, that means he went how many picks ahead of when you were talking about in the head-to-head league?
Well, he went 34th pick.
So you got him at 34th pick also.
Okay.
So we're – all right, well, I mean, just – again, so you paid $32 for Kyle Schwarber.
33.
All right.
But, again, I had money to spend at this point.
Okay.
And, again, I missed out on a couple players I wanted earlier. So, yeah, Schwarber, he was kind of a throw-out dart. But again, if I can get 30 home runs out of the catching position,
well,
that puts me at a huge advantage.
He's going to get you more games played at the catching position just by nature of the fact that the Cubs need him in the lineup. So he's going to be probably, I don't know, I'd almost say more outfield than anything.
Whatever. I mean, it works for me.
Right. Well, come on. I'm not.
So then my next pick, I went with our big Diamondbacks signing, Zach Greinke. I paid $32, so I got me an ace.
Yeah.
Which is good because I didn't take another pitcher until the 16th round.
Okay.
Starting pitcher.
Next pick you got bid up on quite a bit.
Yeah, there was a bit of a bidding war, but
I was right there fucking around with it.
It didn't matter. Corey Seager, he was my dude, and
no, he wasn't.
I was saving the money to make sure to get him.
No, you were out. I remember you were out on this. I believe this was Seager. You were out. And I was yelling at you to put your dollar in because that's the thing. That's the thing you complain about. Oh, I didn't get my guy in this draft. When you're doing an auction draft, the only reason you don't get your guy is because you're not willing to spend that $1 more than somebody else. And I think you were saying, I'm out, doing the exasperated hands waving. I'm out. And I'm like, what do you mean you're out? Get your guy, dope shit. Like, come on. You got him. You got your guy.
I got him.
Okay. He's your guy. I mean, you had to get him.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was kind of an early nomination of Byung-Ho Park.
Somebody threw him out there.
I paid $6 where he should only be $1 player, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But he was thrown out there, and I wanted a backup first baseman utility. We'll see what Park can do, but like I said before, I like Minnesota's lineup actually this year. Speaking of, that was my next player I took was Miguel Sano.
Right.
And that was $24.
Okay. Not a bad move.
No, I mean, I needed a third baseman, and Sano is a yes. He's my dude.
Okay.
So I had one more. This is round 9 now.
Okay.
So you were saying you were down to dollar players and some other people were.
I'm not going to count Park so much. I guess Park would be more of your round 9.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
So you got your 8 money players, and then you still had some cash left over.
I went with Billy Hamilton for $14.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about this because it is a Roto league, and he's obviously a one-trick pony.
Oh yeah.
But he is my only stolen bases. And having the league leader in stolen bases, that
at least puts you a few points
top
ahead.
3.
Yeah. Top 3, you think?
Probably.
I mean, you'll be making other moves and things, but yeah, you're at least going to be
competitive in stolen bases.
So it's not a total punt.
And my batting average isn't god awful.
No, and possibly enough to withstand. Possibly.
Billy Hamilton.
Right.
He
can always surprise us and hit for average somehow. Suddenly get on base.
10th round, Ben Zobrist. I actually don't remember making. I think my team.
I think
my internet crapped out.
No, you're eating casserole.
Okay, I was busy eating.
You were eating the casserole you had to bake.
It happens. Then I went with 3 closers back to back. I went with Perkins, Sean Tollison, and Sean Doolittle.
Okay.
So. Minnesota's closer, Texas's, and Oakland's. I spent $5 for 3 closers.
Not bad.
Again, I like those closers. 14th and 15th round, I like these picks quite a bit. Jonathan Scope and Jung-Ho Wong Gung King. Both dollar pieces.
You got a lot of overlap, but so do I.
Steven Matz and 16 for $1. I love that one. Dylan Betances.
Right.
He's just a pitcher to help get me a few innings. I'm low on starters, but low ERA with high strikeouts Roto League. I'm totally cool with that. I needed my catcher, so I went with Stephen Vogt.
Well, and for $1, who cares if you drop him?
Right. Yeah. These are all dollar players. Round 19.
You did the same thing I did. You doubled down. You went with 2 catchers because, again, in a Roto league, you have the max games played at each position. So you get 162 games total usually. And catcher is one of those positions where you're almost like leaving money on the table, not auction-wise, but like, those are stats you can be collecting. Because
even the most like hardcore catcher isn't playing 162 games.
No. So if you got like a bench option, a second catcher, guys that'll have like different positional flex too, like yours, Schwarber with catcher outfield, and my even your vote catcher first.
Yeah. So I got 2 catchers, a first and an outfield, and that's going to help me with injuries,
days off.
So that way, catcher and first base and outfield, I should get my max games played without much worry.
Okay.
And even that big of a drop off and still getting power. Round 19, Severino. That's another steal that I absolutely love for pick 230.
Now, if I still had any money, you would not be buying these players for $1. But see, that's the thing we should tell people about. If you've never done an auction draft, at this point in the draft where everybody's down to dollar players, except for the silly people who haven't spent money, like they're still putting $7 down on James Shields. But like the rest of us that have $1, this draft sort of reverts back to like a snake draft at this point. So like if nobody else has any money, you're just getting the guy you want for $1 no matter what. Nobody can outbid you. So some of that's what's going on here. Like I just couldn't outbid you on a Severino.
Yeah.
But you still got, again, these dollars. You can get some incredible value at $1.
Getting Matz and Severino for $1 a piece really helps my thin pitching.
Well, again, don't be afraid of dollar players, I guess. Don't be afraid to scrape the bottom of the barrel at $1. Like,
there's a lot out there. Okay, so real quickly, just to finish the draft, Tomas,
Yasmani,
J.J. Hoover,
your Cincinnati closing project.
Yeah, Adam Lynn, which was I didn't draft.
That was a like auto or.
My internet crapped out and I had to reload and it.
You're getting more casserole, Ryan.
Whatever, he's already set to be dropped. I got a waiver claim. I'm dropping Adam Lynn for Kenta Maeda.
Okay.
Yeah, I needed another pitcher.
Then I noticed you're stashing Devon Travis again.
Right, which I may end up dropping just to get more pitching. Yeah, but again, I do have Ben Zobrist.
Okay.
And he's not a bad backup second baseman.
No, nothing sexy. That's like my Kendry at first.
Nothing sexy, but good to have.
Get the job done. Now, all right, so 1 to 10. Nobody. I don't think anybody, even when they are good at auction leagues, like again, my winning percentage is very high, and I don't normally toot my horn about winning but like my winning percentage on an auction league is pretty high, and. It's actually it's my preferred format because of that reason. Like I tend to kick ass in auctions.
Well, I think
if you're active, you can kick ass.
I think we both prefer auctions over snake. That's why our mock draft for our Dynasty League tryouts, we're doing an auction because that way we can see like which players you like. And
we'll get to that we'll get to the mock auction or whatever in just a minute because that's coming up this Saturday. But yeah,
auctions are preferred.
How confident are you though? Like I don't think anybody's ever super confident coming out of an auction draft.
For me personally, not having a first round pick
bothers you.
It does. I don't like not having a first round pick. Abreu was a first round pick last year. A lot of home runs. Martinez and Abreu, not necessarily my guys, and they weren't players I was planning on getting going into the draft. So because of that, I'd say my confidence is probably a 7.
Okay. I overdid my first round picks. So, I would still, but again, we advocate. I got my 3x3. I got my core of my teams. I got my upside.
I'd rather have your 3 than my top 3.
Okay.
But again, I had more money.
It was possibly a bit of an overpay. I'm still happy with most of the dollar players I got and the rest that I have.
I think Billy Hamilton's going to be my X factor.
I think the same way I think Soler would be my X factor.
Okay.
But again, that's an auction draft. You're never quite satisfied when you come out of it. 7 out of 10 for my team in terms of satisfaction. 7 out of 10 for your team. And that's about probably like that's being confident
with
in the draft.
Completely different strategies where he went all pitching,
mostly
pitching.
But it was still
you went with your 3x3.
Well, but I still had mostly pitching after that.
Okay.
So I mean, the 3x3 was.
But spending your money early to spending money later.
Right. But yeah, all right. So auction. This is why auction's fun. Hey, we're up to six people watching this, by the way. So I think it'd be pretty good to hit the chat real quick. As Ryan's checking the chat, we'll get to some questions real quick if we have any before we go. We have the FSAA Dynasty Tryout League. This is for the 4 spots available in each of our Dynasty leagues. This tryout draft is going to be this Saturday. I hope that's okay with everybody. It's 5 p.m. West Coast, I guess 7 p.m. East Coast. I hope that's not too early or too late. Hopefully everybody can make it, especially our panel of judges. But yeah, this is it. I mean, this is the tryout. We want to do it as soon as possible so we can get you guys into the league.
I mean, there's already good interest and like the league's filling up quick.
Well, our leagues are full. I mean, minus the 4 teams we're missing.
Well, not our Dynasty, but the mock tryout league.
Oh, it is.
Filling up quick.
It is. And if we need to expand it by a few spots, we can. But, we got our judges are here starting to show up. We got Bronson and Kevin in here now. I'm here. You still haven't signed in, but
I'll sign in.
This league isn't going to be kept. It is a mock league. We'll just delete it afterwards, but it's just a good way to like get everybody registered in there.
Just that way they can be in instead of trying to like all get into a mock draft right at the same time. Like this way we can send the invites, people who show interest, like leave us your email, join our website. Just let us know and we'll send you an invite.
And we're going to do a separate video real quick about that just to tell everybody it's Saturday. We'll post that immediately after this podcast.
All right, so Bronson and I are playing week 1 in the head-to-head league, and I think we just agreed on a pie bet.
Okay.
Week 1 pie bet between Bronson and myself.
For this public league?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I mean, are you going to go with tasty, delicious, edible whipped cream or shaving cream again?
Shaving cream.
It did have a more it was very
the
visual, the visual effect of it was pretty.
I mean, you doubted my pieing expertise.
You look like a Yeti. I mean, yes, but that wasn't pieing people. That was assaulting people in high school, right? You broke a girl's nose. Wait, that was Nick, wasn't it?
No, that was me. It didn't break her nose.
She said it did.
No, it didn't.
Well, she might have been just boo-hooing a little bit. I don't know.
All right. So anyways, those were our day 1 drafts. It's a hell of a lot of fun.
That was fun. It was good.
All of our FSAA members, thanks for joining. There's going to be plenty more live stream mock drafts and regular leagues. Like, hang out on our website. If you want to jump in a mock, we're there. Like, hey, let's do a mock. We do a mock. But again, for FSAA purposes,
auction sickness,
we're still going to be doing a lot of live streams. And if you want to get in and you're hanging around, like we'll tweet them out before we join or start.
Yeah.
Like just again, especially in like actual year-to-year leagues, if you know you got a league of good managers, it just makes it that much better. Like, yes, it's not going to be as easy to win as your standard guy that joins the league. So stay tuned and keep an eye out for that.
Bronson wants to know real quick, who pairs well with the big 3 for fantasy baseball? The big 3 being Bryce Harper, Mike Trout, and Paul Goldschmidt.
I think even the mocks we did and the draft that you did, pitching. You get your big 3 and then you go heavy pitching.
Yeah. I mean, get your aces.
It just kind of seems to be where the picks are going to where you're at.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, that's what I did twice, essentially. And all right, I love it.
Personally, I don't advocate taking pitching early. I think there's a lot of good pitchers to have late.
If somebody reaches ahead of you, I'm not, I'll reformulate my strategy on the fly as I have to. But
again, part of it too is just going with the ebb and flow of how the draft is going. Because again, getting Donaldson at 9 and Trout at 4 and Scherzer going 3. Like
that doesn't
there's
happen.
going to be fucking curveballs in every draft. Like it might not be that pronounced.
Yeah.
But there's going to be some.
All right, well, let's just wrap it up. Thanks for everybody listening live. I don't know if we have any last questions or anything, but hopefully this will be informative to some people who check it out later. Again, just leave us a comment in the YouTube section or subscribe to the iTunes and leave us a comment.
Leave a review on our iTunes. I know you're probably not listening at this point, but if you're watching now, like subscribe to our channel on iTunes and leave us a 5-star rating and give us a review.
Well, if it's not 5 stars, you don't have to do 5 stars.
Yes, you do.
All right, whatever. I'm just saying. You can be honest.
Give us 5 stars and be honest in the comments.
Be honest about how much ass we kick.
Whatever.
Okay, thank you. All right, so fantasy gods, please grant me the serenity to set my ideal lineups, courage to add drop
aggressively,
which we'll be doing after this auction draft. You can bet your ass. And wisdom,
as always,
to make good trades.
Ah, motherfucking man.
And when we have our League of Nations voting block, we can just veto trades as necessary. I got dyslexic there for a moment. All right. So thank you. FantasySportsAddicts.com. Hit us up on Twitter at letter F, letter S, the word double letter A, at FSAA. Leave a comment, subscribe, donate.
Please.
If you think it's delicious. Ryan's getting thirsty. He's out of beer again.
Sorry, Kevin, you missed us. We talked about your team earlier. Go back and rewatch.
Yeah, watch it again.
We briefly talked about it.
We did. Did a good job. Good job, Kevin. Good job, Bronson. Good job, J Money Smooth.
FSAA represent.
Woo!
All right.
All right, we'll see you later.
Yeah, doggy.